This is Pokling 888, Telemetrading daily market research and data analysis. The top 10 most active companies in the Philippine Stock Exchange are the following. Apollo Global traded 288.18 million at a price of 0.075 cents per share, while AC Energy Philippines traded 104.58 million at a price of 10 pesos and 5 cents per share. All-day marts closed at a price of 0.69 or 69 cents per share and traded 104.53 million. Monday Nissin traded 46.16 million at a price of 15 pesos and 8 cents per share. Metro Pacific Investment has 11.07 million at a price of 3 pesos and 85 cents per share. Next, the Mega World traded 8.45 million at a price of 3 pesos and 0.90 cents per share. The Synergy Grid closed at a price of 14 pesos and 64 cents and traded 7.94 million. DDMPREIT traded 7.64 million at a price of 1 peso and 79 cents per share. The Dito CME Holdings traded 7.15 million at a price of 5 pesos and 77 cents per share. Lastly, the Bloomberry Resorts traded 7.81 million at a price of 6 pesos and 9 cents per share. And the top earner company is the Mabuhay with 12% gains at a price of 42 cents per share. And the top losers companies are the Monday Nissin with 4.24% losses at a price of 15 pesos and 8 cents per share. Next, the all-day marts with losses of 2.82% at a price of 69 cents per share. And lastly, the DDMPREIT with losses of 1.10% at a price of 1 peso and 79 cents per share. Here are the updates on Forex. For US dollar firms up on rising US yields. The dollar index firmed up above 96.2 on Tuesday as US Treasury yield rose off recent lows following reports that the Omicron variant is milder than previously feared. Next, Australian dollar to US dollar. The Australian dollar climbed above 0.7050 against the US dollar on Tuesday, recovering from a dip to one-year lows. While the US dollar to Chinese yuan ticks up amid RRR cut, strong trade data. The offshore yuan ticked higher to around 6.368 per US dollar on Tuesday as investors digested the central bank's decision to cut the reserve requirement ratio, while market sentiment was lifted by upbeat trade data. The People's Bank of China announced it will cut the RRR by 50 basis points on December 15, enough to release 1.2 trillion yuan of liquidity from Chinese banks. While Japanese yen eased to around 113.6 per US dollar on Tuesday as risk sentiment improved after reports suggested the Omicron variant is milder than previously feared. And the New Zealand dollar rose above 0.6750 against the US dollar on Tuesday after dipping to a fresh 13-month low of 0.6736 earlier in the day, helped by some dip buying as concerns around the Omicron variant eased. The Kiwi also gained after Reserve Bank of New Zealand Assistant Governor Christian Hawkes said on Tuesday that a stronger currency will help the central bank achieve its policy objectives more quickly. And here are the updates on commodities. For gold price, gold was down on Tuesday morning in Asia, with a rebounding dollar and US Treasury yields boxing the yellow metal in a tight $4 range. Gold futures inched down 0.06% to 1,778.50 US dollars by 10:52 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 3:52 a.m. GMT. For crude oil, WTI crude futures climbed more than 2% to above 71 US dollars per barrel on Tuesday. For natural gas futures pair losses on Tuesday. US natural gas futures consolidated around 3.8 US dollars per million British thermal units on Tuesday after reports of mild weather triggered an 11.5% slump in the previous session, sending the contract to its lowest value in 5 months. As temperatures are expected to be warmer than normal next week, a trend seen since the beginning of the winter heating season, traders grew concerned that heating needs in the US could be much lower this year. And here are the stock market updates. In Euro area, the EU 50 increased 674 points or 18.98% since the beginning of 2021, according to trading on a contract for difference that tracks its benchmark index from Euro area. In United Kingdom, the FTSE 100 climbed above almost 1% on Tuesday, in line with its European peers after having its best session in over 4 months on Monday on fading concerns about the impact of the Omicron variant and higher oil prices. On the data front, data from the mortgage lender Halifax showed British house prices grew at the fastest pace in 15 years over the past 3 months, reflecting a lack of homes, strong job market, and low borrowing costs. In Hong Kong, major bourses in the Asia Pacific region were in the green on Tuesday, tracking a rebound on Wall Street overnight as worries over the impact of the Omicron coronavirus variant eased and traders digest a cut in the RRR by the PBOC the day before. The Hang Seng led the gains across the region, up by 2.6% to 23,953, with tech, casino, and property shares among the top performers. Alibaba shares soared 11.9% after the company announced a shake-up to its senior management team. The Nikkei 225 was up 528 points to 28,456, with SoftBank shares gaining nearly 8%. The ASX 200 increased 1% to 7,314, with the RBA leaving the interest rate steady. The Kospi ended 0.6% higher at 2,992, and the Shanghai Composite added 0.2% to 3,595. Meanwhile, the Evergrande Group's grace period for some coupons ended and some bondholders have not been paid yet. For US stock futures extended gains on Tuesday after a broad recovery rally in the previous session as market fears around the Omicron variant at least momentarily eased. Dow Jones, S&P 500, and Nasdaq 100 futures all edged up about 0.2%. In China, the Shanghai Composite Index rose 0.16 to close at 3,595, while the Shenzhen Component Index fell 0.38% to 14,697 on Tuesday, as mainland stocks traded mixed after the central bank cut the reserve requirement ratio. The People's Bank of China said on Monday it would cut the amount of cash that banks must hold in reserve, its second such move this year, releasing 1.2 trillion yuan in long-term liquidity to bolster slowing economic growth. Economically sensitive stocks in the real estate development, industrial and consumer staple sectors advanced, with notable gains from Sani Heavy Industry 6.88%, Aluminum Corporation 6.87%, Costco Shipping 1.93%, China Energy Engineering 1.44%, Beijing Oriental 5.56%, and Power Construction 3.92%. Meanwhile, richly valued new energy and high-end manufacturing stocks dragged the market, led by losses from contemporary Amper 4.3%, Tianqi Lithium 6.52% losses, and BYD Company 2.3% losses, among others. In South Africa, stocks in South Africa hit all-time high. The FTSE or JSE All-Share Index rose as much as 1.5% to touch a new record high of 72,060 on Tuesday, lifted by mining companies and recovery in tech stocks. In Australia, ASX jumps as RBA rebuffs Omicron threat. The S&P or ASX 200 index jumped 0.95% to close at 7,314 on Tuesday as the Reserve Bank of Australia kept rates on hold and brushed away concerns about the Omicron variant. The RBA held the cash rate at a record low of 0.1%, opting to stay patient until inflation and wage growth hold within targets, while indicating that the new variant is unlikely to derail the economic recovery. Technology firms rebounded on Tuesday, led gains from Zip Company 9.91% and Afterpay 1.84%. Travel-related and energy stocks also rallied amid easing concerns about the new variant severity, with notable gains from Qantas 3.82%. Flight Center 5.68%, Woodside Petroleum 1.95%, and Santos Ltd 2.02%. Elsewhere, healthcare firms, banks, and heavyweight miners mostly advanced. And here are the updates on bonds. In US 10-year note bond yield was 1.45% on Tuesday, December 7, according to over-the-counter interbank yield codes for this government bond maturity. In Japan, the yield on the benchmark Japan 10-year JGB extended losses to 0.04%, close to levels not seen since September 22nd. The yield on Australian 10-year government bonds traded below 1.60%, close to levels not seen since October 7th.